Good morning, summer school. This is Mr. Smith, and I wanted to go over the assignment that is the research essay on humor. Go over a couple tips, tricks, and things to remember for when you are writing that essay. Obviously, this is the unit on humor. One of the last things you're going to do is write this essay. So let's go over the prompt, and then we'll go over some other sort of aspects of this. We'll make sure to go over the rubric and the checklist as well. So the prompt says, research suggests that laughter improves people's emotional and physical well-being. So that's what we're writing about. We're looking for research that laughter improves people's emotional and physical well-being. Write a research-based essay to inform the reader about the positive effects of laughter on emotional and physical health. So a couple things to consider. Number one, they want you to do research. So this means being able to cite sources. You need to have some sources and you need to cite them. The best way to do that is to either cite them in your writing. So say something like, in this article by this person, it says this. So you can cite it in your reading, or you can use parentheses. So one researcher said, and then use a quote from there, and then put the researcher's name, Smith, in parentheses afterwards, right? So, but because we're writing on Edgenuity and we don't really have the opportunity to do footnotes, endnotes, or anything like that, you really do need to cite in the paper itself, right? So put the people you're getting the information from in the paper. So that's number one. Because this is research, you need to have citations, and citations need to be in the paper. Citations in your essay, in the reading, while I'm reading. Number two, and this is kind of makes it nice, is like it says you're going to do research and you're going to write about, you're going to inform the reader about the effects of laughter on emotional and the effects of laughter on physical health. So in terms of the total amount of writing, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that what might make a really good format would be a 4-paragraph essay. Why 4 paragraphs? Because they've clearly identified 2 things that you want to write about. So what that means is that you're gonna write a 4-paragraph essay that will have an introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and those body paragraphs, one will be about the effects of laughter on emotions, and then the second body paragraph will be about the effects of laughter on physical health, and then you'll have a conclusion. I think that's probably the best way to go about writing this. So you'll write a 4-paragraph essay with 2 body paragraphs, one on the effects of laughter on the emotions and one on the effects of laughter on physical health, and you will make sure to properly cite your research. So let's go over the rubric really quickly and just give you an idea of how you're going to be graded on each of those elements. So number one, we look over here at ideas. Keep in mind that there are 5 different parts, and each part is worth 20%, right? And each of those 20% is rated on a 2 through a 6. Okay? And so one of the ways you could think about this is you could think about each of these numbers as representing close to 3.3%, I suppose, because 6 times 3 is 18, and 6 times 3.3 is going to be almost exactly 20%. So that might be one way to think about this. So for example, if you got a series of 5s, right, you could do the math there, and you could sort of calculate, or I'm sorry, it's not 6.3, it's 3.3. You could calculate that would be 15%. So that would be 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. If you got 5s across the board, you'd get about a 75%, which is a C, right? And anything lower than that would be like a low C, D, or not passing. So ideally, you need to be in the range above here. You can have a few things down here, but you need to be in this range up here. So let's take a look at what experienced and exceptional look like for each of these things. Number one, in terms of your ideas, you need to have a strong central idea and obviously it's going to go back to this. You need to be writing very clearly about how humor improves people's emotional and physical well-being. So you need to be constantly going back to that, a clear purpose. So let's look at the exceptional. It says well-developed ideas using a wide variety of relevant supporting evidence. So this right here, if you don't have any evidence, this is going to bonk this one. It's going to fall down from a 6 to a 2. You know, suggestion of controlling ideas, demonstration of minimal understanding of the purpose and audience. So right about if you don't include any evidence, you're somewhere down here, right? Let's go to the organization. Cohesive structure. If you use the structure that I explained to you with introduction, and then one on emotional, one on physical, body paragraphs, and then conclusion, you're probably going to get somewhere in here. If you choose to just not do any sort of structure like that, you're going to end up down here. Okay? Next, let's go to voice and word choice. Let's look at the exceptional. Writing that shows a distinct personality, a style that is matched to the topic, precise language with a variety of powerful and engaging words. So this is really about diction, word choice, and you know, how well you choose your words. That is, it's going to vary from student to student, but I think that if you do a good job trying to make sure that you vary your terminology and your word choice, and you try to use good vocabulary, and you pay attention in this unit to the different vocabulary that comes up, you should probably be fine. This one's always fun to me, like, and difficult to sort of rate on. It's really tough to teach, but you know when it's there in an essay, and that's flow, right? One way to think about flow is to think about transitions in a paragraph that move you from one paragraph to the next. So writing about emotional, how humor can improve the emotional you know, elements of a person, and then transitioning seamlessly into how that can also affect the physical well-being. You know, maybe you talk about how emotional well-being puts a smile on people's face, and so you can see quite clearly how emotions directly impact physical well-being, because you can see physical changes, right? So creating an essay that has good, clear flow and things like that is something that is important. And last but not least, this is the thing that people have been really not doing very well on as I've been reading a lot of these essays. Lots of grammatical mistakes, lots of punctuation, spelling mistakes. So I highly recommend that you guys get someone to read that stuff over. Let's go to the next piece. Okay, checklist. So you will be provided with this checklist when you are working on the assignment, and obviously you want to make sure that after you've completed the assignment, you can go through and check off each of these boxes. If you can't, you need to go through and add some of these things. So again, ideas, making sure your ideas are clear and focused, providing accurate, important details to support your main ideas, anticipate the reader's questions, and provide answers in the work. Go through this stuff because I'm going to be going through these things. Pay close attention to things like conventions down here. Conventions are, do you spell things accurately? Do you capitalize accurately? I'm still getting assignments where people are using lowercase i's instead of uppercase i's. People using incorrect punctuation. So very simple things to fix. And then again, remember that this is all part of fluency. When you have consistent grammar and usage mistakes, then the flow of your essay is just totally shot down. And it makes it really hard to read, and it's going to ding you on a couple different parts, because it's going to ding you on the flow, it's going to ding you here on sentence fluency, but it's also going to ding you on conventions, right? So when you make a lot of grammatical mistakes, it affects the flow. So this is why I highly recommend having someone proofread. Get a second set of eyes on the paper. Have a parent, brother, sister read it just to see if it flows. And if there's a sentence that doesn't seem to naturally flow for them, have them help you rewrite it. Or one of the things that I can always tell you is that we have a tendency to do this sort of really long sentences. Sometimes it's best for fluency's sake to just break the sentences down into smaller pieces, right? And that helps to sort of make the sentence more easily digestible. It flows better. It's clearer. You have a more obvious subject in your sentence, etc. Okay, so those are a few things that you guys need to remember as you conduct or as you write your research essay on humor. There is also a presentation component to that. I might do a quick screencast on the presentation component as well. But do these things for the essay, and if the essay is good, I can guarantee you that the presentation component will turn out good as well. Good luck. Hope that helps. Let me know if you have questions.